Okay, let me sort this all out real quick. Alright, think we are all good to go. Yeah, alright, cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, to uh welcome to EXA. I haven't been on here in a couple weeks, or actually a good few months to be fair, but um I've decided to come back, and what a way to come back than to start the first round of the season here down under here in Melbourne for X5 for the first round. For the first round here in EXA on the final season that I think we will be on the F1 23 game before we get on to the new game, which comes out at the end of May. So should be quite a fun season. Yeah, so I mean we got 15 drivers in here, which I don't think we're having any more joining due to, I mean I don't even know, due to some drivers unfortunately are not here. So we're going to be missing a couple, but still, we do still have 15 drivers here, and we should have what will be, hopefully, a very entertaining race to come up. So we'll have to wait and see now, because we only have short qualifying now. We will have 18 minutes to decide on who will take pole for the Australian Grand Prix. So right now, let me see here. I was gonna try and get the driver lineups out, but I'm struggling to find it. So, what I'll do is let me. No, that's fine. Alright. Anyway, let me get on with what will be the first lap. Competed in this qualifying session, it is Kifu. I don't know which way to say it, but the Williams is the first round, which will go on the way to start the first flying lap of this session as we go on board with the Williams in towards someone. Seems like pretty comfortable there, but as I say that, he goes over the curb. That is an invalidation for the Williams driver, so let's see a DJ Williams should be the next one to start flying up into turn 1. Can he keep it within the white lines? Indeed he can keep it within the white lines. We will watch as the Alfa Romeo, which next year will be the Kick Sauber, obviously, make his way around Albert Park for hopefully a solid lap here from the Alfa Romeo. It seems like we have one of the Aston Martins back in the lobby, so that's a good thing. 27.3 in the first sector there for the Alfa Romeo as he's going to make his way through towards through the long back straight, which obviously came into place, I want to say two years ago, 2022, as we now watch Udo William make his way very shortly towards the end of a lap now. He makes his way into the final sector there. We've got a couple more drivers out on laps as well, as we're just going to have to wait and see, and he absolutely rides the curve there. Unfortunately, that is going to cost him some time as we wait towards the final corner. What time can DJ William do in the Alfa Romeo? He'll make his way to come across the line very shortly in the Alfa Romeo to set the original pole time of what will be a 1:19.082, being the first lap set in this session. So solid lap now from William. Who will come up next? It seems like the next one will be Moxie Sue in the Red Bull. He will cross the line and he will jump ahead of William into the 1:18.3s. So yeah, good lap from Moxie. Jumped himself 7 tenths to fair. Clear of Williams. Next up is Simon in the McLaren. He looks to be getting on the way with his lap. And we got Mini Miko, who is about to finish his lap in the Alpha Tower. He will go third. Foss followed by one of the Mercedes of just Samuel. Actually, it's just starting a lap. Junior's starting a lap, and CWM is just starting a lap. So a couple of drivers now starting their first laps. Roy will finish his next lap, or his first lap, and Roy will jump to the top of the time. It's 1:18.1 for the Alpha Tauri driver, jumping himself up to the top of the timing sheets. We'll just wait to see as Sam is on a lap. CWM is busy on a lap. Kifu is coming across the line very shortly to finish his lap, but it seems like he has invalidated, so he will not improve on his time. We'll hop on board with not the Alfa Romeo. CMK just started. We will go on board with just Sam in the Mercedes, the next driver, which should finish a flying lap around Albert Park. So yeah, we'll just have to wait for the Mercedes to come across the line. We have 5 times set so far. The 4 times probably a bit more competitive than the time from Simon with the 142.8. But just Sam to cross the line in the Mercedes. He will come across the line very shortly, set a time. Will he go ahead of Roy? He will go ahead of Roy by 1/1000 of a second. And Sam takes the original pole. What about CWM in the Ferrari? He will go 4th fastest, followed by, which should be Junior, who is on a push lap now. That is Miko coming into the pits. And that is Crazy is on a push lap now. And let's see, CMK looks to be the next one to cross the line, and in fact he is going to jump into the pit lane. He will not be doing another lap. Next up it is Kifu, but Kifu is heading into the pit lane due to what looks like, oh no, actually is going for a lap, so we'll come back to him shortly. I think the Haas and Nightwolf in the Haas will be the next driver to come across line, excuse me there, as Nightwolf on the medium tyres as well will come across line very shortly to set a time of what will be a 1:19.5, and currently that does put him slowest of the times for the time of Kifu with the 1:28. We got Junior, who looks to be the next driver to come across the line in the Alfa Romeo. So we'll watch the Alfa Romeo make his way through the final couple corners here around Albert Park, make his way through the right-hander and onto the DRS to come across the line very shortly to see what time will put him on the board. Does put him to 4th fastest, to be fair. A 1:18.3 is the time set by the Alfa Romeo. Next up we got Crazy in the Aston Martin, and that's going to put him on pole there. 1:18.0 from the Alfa Romeo. Good Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin, bloody hell. Good luck there from Crazy in the Aston Martin, puts him into the 1:18.0. So we have our first driver into the 1:18, as we'll watch his teammate Nickman, who looks to be the next man to cross the line in the Aston Martin. I saw there was a purple middle sector, but obviously I think we all know what if the middle sectors might not be realistic, to be fair, so we'll have to see what time Nickman does when he actually comes into the pit lane. It is actually Nightwolf on another lap. Nightwolf is actually on another lap. I just want to cut to him really quick. It doesn't seem like he's actually improving, so I'll go away from Haas and I will jump to the Aston Martin, who will cross the line now and jumps into the 1:17. So there we go, next driver into the top of the timers and actually now into onto the front row. So right now we have an Aston Martin front row with Nickman and Crazy, so good luck from them two to put their times on the board. As I'm just waiting to see who should be next to cross the line. I think next is an Alpine, but I think the Alpine is on a out lap, so he should be going for a push lap now. I think that's CMK, or CMAC, I think it is. As we've got CWM making his way around the final corner now in the Ferrari. He will cross the line as he jumped to the top. He jumps to 2nd fastest, so a solid lap there from CWM puts him into 2nd and almost actually spinning up there. So luckily kept the car and did not die. So we shall see when the next lap take, or when the next lap's take, I should say. We've got a couple drivers on our laps. We've had a couple drivers finish laps, and the next one to go for a lap, I think, will be the Haas of Nightwolf, which I'm seeing now is actually on 6 laps of fuel on that Haas. So probably just trying to set at least a solid banker. So yeah, we'll have to see what the Haas can do here as he begins his final lap here around Albert Park. So we'll have to see what time he will be able to put onto the board, as Haas will make his way through the first sector. And to be fair, the first sector not looking too bad, actually looking pretty good so far. As it, however, is actually 2 tenths down. So hopefully he's going to have to try and find, he's going to have to try and find some more time, so we're going to have to just wait and see what happens to that. So, well, just going to have to see. What I am also seeing now in the X5 chat is supposedly we do have a wet race coming up for us after this qualifier, so should make the race a lot more dramatic, and hopefully will definitely make the race more dramatic, and hopefully a lot more entertaining, as Rabas, he jumps to 7th. I think CMCU, he went to 2nd fastest, so saw that. Just Sam, I think was already 5th. Saw Roy is improving. He's going to be next. So Simon in the McLaren is 3 tenths up on his lap, which right now will only put him ahead of DJ Williams. So unless he's found a lot more time out of this final corner, he will cross the line and actually has lost 7 tenths, so he will not improve and stays 11th. We've got Miko in the AlphaTauri, who obviously next year they will be called Racing Bulls, RB, Visa Cash Out, MoneyGram, whatever the hell you want to call them. Anyway, the AlphaTauri, as we'll call it for now, until we get to the new game, will cross the line shortly. That is Roy, who jumps to 2nd fastest, so not a bad lap from him. Miko across the line and doesn't improve, he stays 12th. Let's see, as so Nightwolf is up. Kifu's across the line in the Williams. Kifu goes 12th with the 19 flat, and Gamer's just started a lap. Let's see, so just Sam is improving on his time as he makes his way out of the final corner. What time can just Sam do? In the Mercedes, is it going to jump him up the order? It's going to jump into 4th fastest, 2 tenths improvement there from the Mercedes driver. Next up is Nightwolf, who's improving. He goes 13th. It does go 13th, but I think he was already 13th. Not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he was already 13th. So, but to be fair, he's on 5 lap old medium, so probably will be going for a soft lap by the end of the session. So we'll have to keep an eye out for him. Someone who I want to look out for is Gamer, who is the only driver so far to not use a Donner lap, but as you can see, the Red Bull driver doing a spin, which I think we all hope is what Sergio Perez does this weekend coming up. But Gamer, unfortunately, taking a spin there, and that is completely ruined his lap, and we'll have to wait for him to make his way back around the track to go again. He obviously will not have the battery to go again, as I was going to say how much time there's left in quali, but there's a couple yellow flags out, so I can't really say for now. What I can see, is there anyone else that's improving on their lap time? So DJ William is actually 2 tenths up on his lap, so we'll actually up on board here with the Alfa Romeo. Looks to be the next driver to cross the line, so as he makes his way through the middle sectors, only 700th improvement there for DJ William, as that's a little bit of a lag spike there. Don't know if that was because of me or just because of the host, but don't have to worry about it. Seems like he's all good. But as we watch DJ William make his way around the last couple of corners here in Albert Park, so we do have 4 minutes remaining in the session. Right now, it is Nickman in the Aston Martin who will take pole position right now. The star of the EXA Season 5. For the last season on F1 23, DJ William across the line, he stays 10th fastest. It seems like the top 9 just have broken away from at least 10th down to 15th. So 10th down to 15th, we'll have to find some more time. Kifu is actually up 3 tenths here on his lap on the soft tyres, but Kifu invalidates his lap there. That is his lap ruined. As we'll watch behind to Gamer, who I don't know really if he's on a lap or not, or if he's on a bank lap at least a set. Just to have a bank lap set, but we shall see. So Gamer making his way around the last couple of corners here in the Red Bull, but I have a feeling he will probably be jumping into the pits. No, actually he is going to finish his lap, so Gamer will come across the line to finish this lap. Will it jump him up the order? He will cross the line and is still down to the back in P15 for the 120.3, so not a great job there. Hopefully he'll hope to find some more time later on in the session. We've got 2 minutes 40 left to go, and actually, to be fair, I think that will be I think, and Gamer's session done. I don't think he'll be able to come back out, sets a new lap, and I think DJ is going to go for another lap here. But actually, what I want to go to, I think both Aston Martins are on a lap, and in fact, both Aston Martins are indeed on a lap. So I'm going to watch the man on pole right now, and that is Nickman, which right now, you can see the Aston Martin's actually running a 1-2 right now. So the Aston Martins are absolutely flying out here to start off the season as we watch Nickman make his way through the long back straight. We'll see his middle sector if he's finding any sort of time to improve on his lap. In the middle sector, he's not improving. He's 1.8 temps down, so he's definitely struggling there. And unfortunately, he's going to have to wait, or actually no, not wait, but he's definitely not going to look like he's going to be improving unless he finds more time there in this final sector. But as the Aston Martin makes his way through the Albert Park circuit, as you see a lot of drivers making their way out of the track, out onto the track now, for what will be their final lap. So you see Moxie Sue and Gamer Roy are all in the pits, so I don't think they'll be coming back out. Nickman crosses the line, he will not improve and will stay, he stays pole, as well as Crazy, who goes into the pit lane, so that is his session done. Next up should be DJ William in the Alfa Romeo. He's going to come in, and that is his lap done. Let's see, stuff for Simon. I think that was him just improving the 10th there, I think it was. Next to Mini Miko, he is not improving on Ashno. He will probably go again, but this is just a lap, track lap, I guess, and he gets ready for what will be his final lap in the session. There's a yellow flag for a Mercedes, as we watch just Sam, who's just starting a flying lap now, making sure Nickman is not improving. So 210, I suppose he's 210 stop already, but we'll have to see how just Sam does. But I suppose it's already 210 improvement here for the Mercedes driver. 30 seconds to go. Crazy is done, Roy is done, Moxie is done, DJ William is done, and Gamer are all done with their laps. And you can see a perfect first sector there for the Mercedes. The Mercedes really trying to fight his way onto the front row. To be fair, he only actually needs about 800ths to get up into the front row. He's 12 thousandths down, however, in the middle sector here. He's going to have to try and find some more time here as he makes his way towards the end of this lap. And this is where the track is going to be important. So we have laps finished. So as Ralas retires, the Mercedes has made a mistake. He is out. As we'll wait to see what time just Sam can do. We do have more laps coming on behind us. See Simon will cross the line now in the McLaren. He is not improving. That is his session done. As we'll wait to see, can just Sam sneak his way onto the front row? He goes for fastest, to be fair, and puts him actually on the second row. We got CMC in the Alpine, actually. There's more drivers in front of him. Junior to cross the line in the Alfa Romeo. He goes 7th fastest. The Haas of Nightwolf. Nightwolf goes to 8th fastest. How about CMC? What can he do as the Alpine? The only Alpine here tonight. Can he improve on his lap? He will stay 4th fastest. CWM invalidates. And Mini-Meek not improving. We have an Aston Martin front row lockout with Nickman and Crazy PP. Crazy P. I've just bored my name there. So the Aston Martins are on the front row for the Australian Grand Prix. And what is a brilliant lap from, to be fair, great laps from both drivers, putting themselves on the front row. So we have an Aston Martin front row followed by an AlphaTauri of Roy in 3rd, and CMC following him on the 2nd row. But that is qualifying done, and because of some good laps, we have an Aston Martin front row lockout for the first round of the season. Alright, so to round out the short qualifying session here in Melbourne, it is going to be Nickman on pole position here for the Aston Martin team. We got Crazy's teammate, and Aston Martin front row for them. It is Roy in P3, CMC P4, just Sam P5, CWM P6, Junior P7, Nightwolf P8, Ramas P9, Moxie Su P10, Then it's Simon in 11th, DJ Williams 12th, Kifu 13th, Miko 14th, and Gamer will be starting at the back of the grid in P15 for what supposedly is going to be a wet race, which will follow as we get on to the main race here in Albert Park. Alright, it is time for what will be the future race here around Albert Park, which are, I want to say 29 laps around Albert Park, I think. But as the drivers get ready to go to 5 red lights for the Australian Grand Prix, it's lights out, away we go. It's a good start from what looks to be from Nickman. Roy has actually jumped the start, or not jumped the start, he's got a greater start than Nickman into turn 1. It seems like, oh, there's a car over there in the background, and that is, I think that's one of the Mercedes off as Roy gets ahead of one Aston Martin. There's a yellow flag, and Rabas is out, or not out, but down with an incident in the background. But it seems like Roy's got the jump. We see CWM trying to make his way through. As we see the intermediate tyres are on. Who actually has intermediate setups on? Just Sam has a 5-second penalty, or 3-second penalty. And I think there's contact there with Simon in the background. Ramas had an incident. CWM has spun. A lot of accidents happening right at the start here. Just Sam goes off the track in a Mercedes. Very chaotic start here in the Australian Grand Prix, as we see Moxie Sue trying to go around the outside of Drew, actually not around the outside, on the inside of the Alfa Romeo. Will get them moved up into P6 there for the Red Bull drivers. He's going to try and make his way up the order, as this looks like a horrible start, as well as for the Mercedes duo, who had a decent qualifying. And it seems like, however, they both also now have picked up time penalties, which is not going to help them at all. So actually, CMC's also jumped the Aston Martin of Crazy, but in P4 now. So the one, oh, and that's actually going wide there. Roy has just been overtaken up by CMC. You got to wonder which of these drivers have intermediate setups on, and which of these drivers have dry setups on. Obviously, you want the dry setup on, because that will give you the best chance in this race. But as we lead away from the first lap, it is Nickman who takes the lead. CMC P2, Roy P3, Crazy P4, Sam with the penalty, Whoop P5, Moxie Sue P6, then it's Junior William P8, Miko P9, and just Sam taking the final point right now for Mercedes, as I think that was one of the Williams leaving. Yellow flag, can't seem to figure out what the yellow flag was for, but there was a yellow flag that came out, and I see Kifu has unfortunately left the session, unfortunately, in the Williams, but quite out on the front, or quite out in front, is a good lead now for Nickman in the Aston Martin. Now around on the inside. Nightwolf gets the move done on Crazy now, so Crazy's starting to struggle possibly on those intermediates. Maybe does have a dry setup on, but we do see the Aston Martin trying to come back and challenge the Haas and trying to go around the outside now. Is the Aston Martin, and in fact he's got a good move done there, and Crazy gets past the Haas, and up into P4 there goes the Aston Martin driver. So good lap from Crazy as he makes his way up towards P4 here around Albert Park, as I think you can see there also in the background Moxie Sue trying to get himself involved in the scrapping, but I wouldn't be surprised if Nightwolf goes for a move back on the Aston Martin, but I think Crazy's going to hold on for now, as Nightwolf will hold on from going forward and move for the time being. As the drivers continue to make their way around Albert Park, we're on lap 3. We'll see. Probably will expect at least another pit stop from an intermediate. As actually now around the outside there goes Nightwolf and gets the move back past Crazy and up into P4 again. So this seems like a fight actually Moxie Sue is trying to get himself involved. Up the inside, there goes the Aston Martin contact there between Nightwolf and Crazy. A little bit of a late sender for the Aston Martin. That's going to allow Junior to sneak his way through and get 2 places in 1. Oh god, a little bit of the water with Moxie Sue on the wall. I think that maybe was just a little aggressive there from the Aston Martin, and unfortunately that's cost him 2 places there. It's Crazy down to 6th. Moxie Sue down to 7th place now. In the order, there's a yellow flag, and I don't know what. I thought that was Simon, I think, who I thought had a spin there, but I guess not. I don't know. Continuing the fight here, Moxie Sue and Crazy having a fight. Actually, DJ William now sneaks past, so DJ William getting his way past. A little bit of a fight here going on between Moxie Sue and Crazy. As you can see, Moxie Sue trying to sneak his way back past the Aston Martin, or the Alfa Romeo. He's going to have to get use the back, or get, I was going to say get the DRS, but we won't be DRS because it's a bit wet to be fair, so I don't think we'll see the DRS for now. Back towards the front, however, there's a little bit of scrapping with P4 here between Nightwolf and Junior. Seems the front 3 have all just broken away at the start of this race, but actually Nightwolf is not too far behind Roy. More to say, the top 2 are broken away from this race so far between CMC and Nickman. So we'll have to see what happens in that fight, as these 2 fight away now for P4 between Nightwolf and Junior, with the Haas going on against the Alfa Romeo. So as Junior will have the slipstream, plus probably use some battery, will look to get the move done. I thought for a second he was going to try the inside, but in fact he might just hold on from making a move. And actually I think that was some Moxie Sue who got the move done on DJ William, so not bad from the Red Bull. As now this looks like a better exit here for Junior. Junior's going to try and make a move around the outside. He's very close to the move. Is he going to go for a little send? He is maybe a switchback here. He's going to try and get on the throttle, you know. He's going to very much try the switchback. The Alfa Romeo is sneaking his way up the inside, and a good move there gets himself the switchback on Nightwolf and up into P4. There's a little bit of contact there from Nightwolf actually. Maybe a little bit missed the braking a little bit there from the Haas, but the Haas going to have a good run here on Junior as they're going to make their way towards turn 1. Nightwolf trying to get a move done on Junior and into turn 1. There's going to be close to contact into turn 1. Still side by side with the Alfa and the Haas. The Alfa Romeo goes off the track, but Junior gets the place in the end, but it looks like now a move back, and I think that was for going off the track with the illegal overtake. Up the inside now, Junior trying to go for the move, but it seems like Junior just can't get the move done for now. It's Crazy also right behind, trying to sneak his way into this fight for P4. So it seems like a lot of action going on here between the midfield, as we're only on lap 5, and we'll have to see if we see any sort of if the track will dry up or not. I have no clue, but all I know is it's sure as hell a wet race, and we'll have to see if we see any sort of, maybe even go to wet tyres, so on and so forth. But if you've got a wet setup on, or at least a setup for these conditions, you will be loving life as long as it doesn't go to dry. So as Junior is trying to get a move back on the Haas, looks to right the curve there a little, or not right the curve, but bounce the curve there. Yeah, he does have the Aston Martin right behind. Moxie Sue also not too far behind, and there's a move here at the back that is Mini Meek getting the move done on just Sam. Sam gets the move, or does get overtaken there from the AlphaTauri, and Mika up into P9 as we'll go back towards this scrap now. Nightwolf and Junior trying to get the move here, and I think that is a form of a dry setup compared to a wet setup. But Junior is trying to get past the Haas, but just can't seem to make the move. And it seems like Nightwolf will hold on to this for now, but you could think that Nightwolf's got a little bit more, a little bit less downforce compared to the Alfa Romeo. It seems like these 4 will be the people fighting for this final place on the podium. Almost lose the back end there, locking the rear tyres there as Junior. He's trying to make some form of recovery drive, or not for a recovery drive, but to at least get some good points here for the first race of the season, as we've got a long calendar ahead of us as we count down to the weeks remaining before we head on to F1 24, which comes out on May 31st. I'm not gonna, I mean, I don't know when I'm getting the game, but we'll have to see when I do, I should hopefully get it as soon as it comes out. As Moxie Sue gets the move done on Crazy up to P6. There goes Moxie Sue. And I'm going to go back towards this fight. Is Junior still scrapping away there, and onto the curb there goes Junior. That's going to allow Moxie Sue through to get the move. What about Crazy? Is he going to try and move as well? He might try, but he's backed out of the move. Up the inside, they're rear locking the tires, and into the gravel goes Junior. And a big loss there. Moxie Sue also into the gravel, and the contact there. Junior locking the rear brakes and putting him into the gravel, as Nickman and CMC into the pit lane now. So it's going to be wet tyres. So we are having wet tyres coming on in this race. So as CMC comes out, Nickman will also go for wets, and Roy takes the lead with Nightwolf P2. And Junior's into the pits for wets. Same with Rabash, same with CWM. And Simon will also be coming into the pit lane now. And as they come out of the pits, we'll have to see there's a big fight here. CMC is going to lose the place here to just Sam, but if it's going to go to wet tyres, I wouldn't be surprised if he, obviously the Mercedes will have to box, and here you can see the drivers struggling on the intermediates, and I think it does show that the wet tyres are definitely the better tyre to go to right now. So some of the drivers will have to consider going on to that. But now, because of what they've done, the gap will be massively in Nickman and CMC's favour. There's a yellow flag, and I don't know who that was. Simon has spun out of turn 1, and that is damage, or actually not a lot of damage there for the McLaren, but that is going to cost him some time. As Moxie Sue and DJ William fight over P4, you got to watch out because you do have Nickman and you do have CMC flying away. DJ William picks up a time penalty now for track limits, so obviously you've got to watch out around here. This is where very much track limits is a big problem there. Looks like contact there between Moxie Sue and William. These two are going to be flying away into the next corner. Who's going to come out in front? It seems that William will hold on in front of the pack, and are we going to see a move here behind them? We should see both of these two into the pit lane, and indeed we will see both of these two into the pit lane. However, this has allowed CMC to get back towards Nickman, as now these two are going to be going down towards turn 1 and right with each other now. This is the fight for the lead here between CMC and Nickman. And as we wait to see these drivers go out turn 1, it seems like they have come out with Nickman leading the way with Roy in P1 right now leading, and Crazy in P2. It seems like Junior will jump up to P7. DJ William will try and stay ahead of his teammate, who's just boxed a lap before, but I think the warmer tyre, oh, never mind, I guess he won't get the move done. But that is, oh no, in fact they do switch places, and Junior moves up to P6 now, ahead of the, into the wall there. Nickman went into the wall there with the Aston Martin. So the two Alfa Romeos switch places. And actually, I think we would see the two Aston Martin switch places here, in fact. And there's, actually, yeah, so Nickman gets the place from his teammate. And you've got to think maybe his teammate might try and fight it, but actually, I don't think Crazy can. Oh, very close there between the Alpine and the Aston Martin. But in fact, CMC will stay behind Nickman. Maybe there was a little bit of an attempt there to try and help Nickman build a gap on the Alpine, but it just seems that won't happen. Roy is still staying out on the intermediate tyres. I don't know what Roy's up to, but he's staying out on the intermediates. Not the greatest call to, unless he's thinking of some strategy call here from the AlphaTauri pit wall. We'll have to see what will happen with him, but back towards the front. This is the fight for the lead between CMC and Nickman as we're on lap 9 on this Australian Grand Prix. So we have still a long way to go in this race, and obviously there is still the hopes or chances of safety cars, and yeah, we'll have to just wait and see. So Crazy will come out of the pit lane from what looks like a P7, oh no, actually will come up P8 in the order, but as we just wait to see what will happen here. And yeah, so we'll watch these two continue to pull a fight here out in front. Roy pulling a Ferrari strategy, and indeed he is pulling a Ferrari strategy. is the AlphaTauri. His teammate has just picked up a penalty. And I think just from these corners, you can see how much time he's losing compared to Nickman and CMC. So Nickman will get the move done on the AlphaTauri, but now CMC's got a problem with the fact that Roy is right in the middle of these two. So Roy is really not going to be in the way, and CMC can't get the move done on the AlphaTauri. And now he's going to have to wait. He is going to have to hope. He's going to get the switchback actually on the AlphaTauri and will get the move done. But Roy is still staying out. What is the Ferrari strategy that Roy is trying to do here? Because genuinely, I have no clue what Roy is trying to do with a strategy on these old intermediate tyres. You can clearly see the wet tyres are better, unless he thinks the rain will die down. But he's got an 11-second gap to Nightwolf. But that gap will sure as hell be dropping as they continue through the lap towards the back. It doesn't seem like everyone's just not really close to each other, except Rabas and Mini-Me are a little bit close. You've got CWM and Gamer also close to each other. But yeah, I don't know what sort of Rory strategy Roy is cooking, but we'll have to see. Nickman picks up a 3-second penalty there for track limits. That is a big problem for the Aston Martin. There's a yellow flag, and that was Rabas, who's had a spin out of turn 2, it looks like. And as we head back towards the front, there's still the fight going on for the race lead, and you've got to consider going to the pits there. But you can see there, Nickman maybe starting to struggle on the wet tyres as just Sam picks up a penalty now for track limits. Surprisingly, we've not had a safety car yet, so credit to all these drivers to not bring out a safety car yet. But as we watch these two fly away, you got to think that maybe CMC might just have the better grip right now compared to the Aston Martin. It could be because of setups, but we'll have to see. CMC just seems like he might be the more smoother driver right now as they make their way towards turn 1. Is Rory coming in? And still, the AlphaTauri is not coming in. He's lost, I think it's 7 seconds over the lap. So he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Is Roy when he gets caught up by the Haas. So Nightwolf could very much pick up a podium as CMC here goes around the outside and in fact does take the race lead from Nickman. And we have a new race leader. It is the Alpine of CMC who takes the race lead here in the Australian Grand Prix. That's a good sign for the Alpine team, as I want to point me out, I don't know if this is true or not, because earlier I did see Nickman touch the wall. I know he definitely went into the wall, but I don't know if maybe there could be damage on the Aston Martin, maybe we just can't see it. Could be slight front wing damage possibly, but not 100% sure. That could be why he's possibly struggling with the grip, but we'll have to see if that will cost him eventually. But it seems like, to be fair, he's still keeping up with the Alpine, so I don't think he does, as Rabas into the pit lane for will be new wet tyres for the Mercedes driver. He's going to have to get out soon, or else he's going to end up being lapped down in 14th place. But as we continue to what will be lap 12 very soon, as we will watch these two in the front still, just seem to be the fight that everyone, the closest fight that we have on the field right now. And yeah, we're going to have to just wait and see what will happen between these lot who are fighting away for P1 and P2. The gap is now between 8 seconds, so CMC is maybe losing a little bit of time to the Alpine, and actually has lost a second there as Nightwolf has got the move done on Roy. So Nightwolf up into P3, goes to Haas, so a good job from him. He might look, it looks like right now, the Haas is on for a podium here around the wet, I was going to say Abu Dhabi for a sec, around the wet track here in Melbourne, Australia. As we can see here, a little bit towards the back here, we got a fight here, P7 and Moxie Sue and Crazy. We do have a fight here between CWM and Gamer and Mini Miko, fighting away for the final points places. Losing the rear end there a little bit there was Mini Miko, so he might be starting to struggle on those intermediate tyres, on the wet tyres, say. But again, you got to consider, I think some people do have wet, dry setups on. That's a yellow, and that was Crazy, who seems to have had a spin on the back straight, which is going to cost him some time, and actually cost him P8 to just Sam. So, bit of a struggle there is the Aston Martin, who started on the front row. Just seemed like so far this race doesn't seem to be going his way. But back towards here, it just seems like these are also remaining in this train behind. And yeah, so we'll have to see if the rain will die down, or if we get a safety car, then the race will very much may get a lot more entertaining for our sake. And that is Crazy right in front of them, maybe starting to struggle. And in fact, Crazy's going to come into the pit lane, so we have a driver in the pits, and that is another 3 second for Nickman, who's picked up another 3 second time penalty there. This is Roy now, who's trying to get hold on to P4 right now against Junior, but it just seems like Roy just sticking it on these, sticking it on the intermediates. DJ William picks up a penalty behind now. Crazy's back onto the intermediates. Now hold on a second. Is the track going to go back to intermediates? Because if so, Roy might be onto some, not onto something, but maybe you can see Roy jump into the pits soon for another intermediate tire. But we'll have to find out and see what he will be intending on doing. As I see, Crazy's gone back on. He's gone back onto the intermediates. So could this lead to a whole lot of intermediates pits? And in fact, Rabas is also in for intermediates, as the front two don't come in. So Crazy and Rabas both in, as Junior now gets the move done on Roy for P4. So Roy, he stayed on the inters the entire race so far. Will we see any of these not come into the pits for the intermediates? So Junior's going to stay out. That is Roy off the track. And in fact, Roy will come into the pits now after going off the track there. He will come in for what should be an intermediate tire. If what it looks like, Crazy and Rabas onto intermediates, will we see the AlphaTauri go onto intermediates? And in fact, it will be the intermediate tires for Roy, and will be an intermediate tire now for Roy, as he will come out of the pits. He will come out P11, but obviously is on the freshest tires out of everyone, so we'll have quite the advantage in this race. I don't know if he's gonna make the race. I mean, fair enough. Depends on what type of conditions you enjoy driving in. But I want to see what Roy is capable of doing. So Simon's also in for intermediate tires. So then we onto the point now where the intermediate tires are possibly looking like the better tire now as we head towards the halfway point of this race. Will the track dry up completely to dry? I'm not 100% sure, but we'll have to find out. Will CMC come into the pit lane now for some intermediate tires? And in fact, the Alpine will come in. Nickman will actually be staying out on the wet tires. So CMC is going to be heading into the pit lane now. Is Nightwolf coming in? Nightwolf will stay out as well. As will Junior come in the Alfa Romeo. We'll see if Junior comes in to the pit lane. Indeed, Junior is going to come in. Are we going to see an Alfa Romeo double stack? We will not see an Alfa Romeo double stack. Williams stays out. Moxie Sue stays out. Just Sam is going to stay out. So a couple drivers staying out. CMC, however, makes the call, and into the pit lane goes the into the pits goes the Alpine, and Junior in the Alfa Romeo also goes into the pits. CWM stays out with Mini Miko, and Gamer will come in as well for Red Bull onto the intermediate tires. So Roy is the man we need to keep an eye out for now, and you can maybe see, I think the idea of an intermediate tire doesn't look too bad right now for some of the drivers, and to see if there's a fire up the front. I want to see if he's going to be able to get these moves done, but I think the intermediate tires is definitely the way to go right now. He's got two drivers in front of him on intermediate, so this should be quite a clean move here for the AlphaTauri. He's got a lot of battery stored, and is going to have to try and get a move on now, and cannot afford to get held up by the two wet runners in front of him. I think we will also see Nickman and Knight. We should see everyone else come into the pits, and in fact, Roy will go for the move around the outside, and in fact, will get the move done on the AlphaTauri. And yeah, so it seems like he's got the move done. Nickman comes into the pits, and I think we'll see Knight will come and see us. CMC will take the lead this race now on the intermediate tyres. We'll have to see what the rest of them can do. You can see Roy just definitely has that better grip there, and I think this shows that he's definitely time for the intermediate tyres to come back onto the cars. As we'll watch Roy now, he's actually being held up by his teammate now, which is not good for Roy, but in fact Mini Miko does come into the pit lane now for intermediate tyres. So we'll see where does this put Roy when he comes out onto the track. I think it's going to put him in front of DJ William. He's going to be really close to the pit exit, but indeed Roy will get in front of the Alfa Romeo. They're going to be close to contact, and DJ William tries to get out of the pits in front of the AlphaTauri, and maybe a little aggressive on the exit, but DJ Williams spins around and is down to P7. As Mini Miko comes out in P12, CWM down out in P13 behind, but now that gap between CMC and Nickman is now 8.2 seconds out in front now. So we'll have to see if boxing the lap earlier will pay off, but to be fair, if the gap's 8.3 seconds, I wouldn't be surprised if that pays off. Other than that, everyone else is in a race of their own, to be all fairness. So CWM and Mini Miko fighting behind for P12 and P13. Obviously no points, but we'll have to see if we get any sort of other fighting going on. So CWM very close now to Mini Miko. Is he going to try and move around the outside? He maybe look for it. Maybe on the inside, possibly even. Nope, he is going to back out. But as the Ferrari now will make the move around the outside on the AlphaTauri. Are they going to make their way through? And in fact, Mini Miko is going to go for the brakes, but in fact, brakes a bit too late. And a switch back there from CWM puts Miko in the gravel, and CWM takes P12 ahead of the AlphaTauri driver. So good move there from CWM, getting the move done. So as the drivers continue around the Melbourne circuit, you can see that the gap in front is a bit big right now, at about 8.4 seconds between Nickman and CMC. CMC right now has a very clear chance of being the race winner, but obviously this is a wet race still at the end of the day. There can still be sort of safety cars or anything, so we just got to keep an eye out for it, in all fairness, because at this point, anything can happen with these sort of, anything can happen in these sort of conditions. So, just gonna have to wait and see now, to be honest, on what will happen in terms of the racing. As just trying to see here. Yeah, there's not really much more. Not really much to talk about now. It's more just really watching the pack now as they make their way through the race, and see if we do end up getting some form of safety car that comes out, or anything, to be honest, so on and so forth. But we still have about 11 laps to go in this race, so it's not like it's impossible. There's a yellow flag. Rabas has spun into the barrier, but it seems like he is now being lapped behind CMC, which soon will be Nickman, and it just seems like he is struggling on those, just struggling out the back. Just doesn't seem like it's a good day for the Mercedes driver, and into the barrier there goes the front wing, and the safety car is deployed. And I don't really want to say that was a bit intentional, but Rabas has caused the safety car. You can see on the Mercedes, it's a missing front wing. And now, are we going to see people dive into the pit lane for another set of intermediate tyres, I reckon? I reckon we could see some people dive in for intermediates. I generally think we could see some drivers dive into the pit lane. You could think the top four should be more than able of diving into the pits for new inters. And I think at this point of the race, it's definitely going to be intermediates. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what Rabas is doing. Don't know if that's intentional or not. We'll have to see if someone reports that, what the stewards think of that. As the drivers make their way around, however, Nickman will come into the pits, so he will go to new enters. So he is the first driver. Rabas obviously in for new enters as well. Nightwolf will stay out. You got to question, is this call for new enters a good move? So there's new enters for Nightwolf. Junior's actually left the sessions, so you're gonna have to see if he makes some form of being able to get back in the lobby. Yeah, it seems like most drivers are actually going to be staying out on the inters. So actually, the only one who's taken the gamble onto a new set is actually Nickman in the Aston Martin. Will we see anyone else make the gamble? It doesn't look like it. I mean, if I'm them, I might. I mean, if you're one of these guys at the back, I would definitely say, why not gamble onto a newer set of intermediates? But end of the day, we only have one person onto a new set of inters. Also a bit of a problem, actually. I think. Oh no, never mind. 2 hours better. Another problem which I want to point out actually is going to be Rabas will be in the middle of the cars that are lapped and the cars that are not lapped. So this is going to cause a little bit of a problem here, as Rabas obviously is lapped by the drivers, by the pack already, or by some of the pack already. But he's going to be behind Junior in P4, so gonna have to try, the drivers behind are gonna have to try and sneak their way past the Mercedes driver, but that might cause them some problems on the safety car restart. Alright, apologies about that. I had to I just wanted to have a quick bit of a drink, as my throat was a bit almost went, but it's all good. But good news is the pack will join back up, and we can have some clean. We'll have the pack all back and double back up together for what should be a very entertaining end to this race. So things to look out for: Nickman on new intermediates in the Aston Martin. You got to look out as well for obviously the race leader CMC, and who else could honestly jump to the podium? So Roy, he is on one of the older sets of inters, but he could honestly jump to the podium due to the penalties to Nickman Jr. No DNFs, 20 laps in goes crazy. To be fair, no offense, I wouldn't be surprised if you maybe jinxed that. I mean, we could see. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if someone DNFs, in all fairness, but I don't want to say you jinxed it, but you may have just jinxed it. But we'll have to see. So I wouldn't be surprised if these drivers are going to be very aggressive, as obviously we're still going to have a good couple laps. The safety car isn't going to come in just yet, so it should stay out for what should be one more lap here behind the safety cars will get going for lap 22, which then will lead to 7 laps here around Albert Park to decide who will take the win here around Albert Park for the first round here in EXA. Again, the final season that we are here on the F1 23 game before we move on the end of May to F1 24. Alright, apologies about that. Just quickly having to respond to something really quick. I've just seen something, and I don't know if what I saw was correct. I'm sorry that I want to quickly see you, because I'm just having a look here. Okay, no, it's a 5-second penalty rabbit. I thought for a set. Oh, no, now Crazy got a 5-second penalty. A couple 5-second penalties are coming out due to a couple of contacts between the safety car restart, but very shortly we will get going underway with CMC leading the way in the Australian Grand Prix to continue with this race on intermediate tyres, and we're going to have to keep an eye out again for Nick Mann in that Aston Martin, who will be trying to make his way back up the order. Towards turn 1, there's a fight here. Moxie Sue's got the move done. 3 wide into turn 1, and Moxie Sue's got the move done. And that seems like it's going to cost some sort of drivers a yellow flag there. Junior's off in the background, and I think Crazy's struggling side by side. They're in the wall. There goes Moxie Sue. Up the inside, there goes Sam. They're going 3 wide here. There's no room for 3 wide here, lads. What's going to happen? They're still side by side as Moxie Sue and DJ William. Junior has retired from the session. It seems like you changed the fact we didn't have any DNFs, but that is the first DNF, and we've got 22 laps not in. Junior disconnected, very much unfortunate. Crazy is now in the background there, trying to fight there, as well as and Gamer and just Sam. It seems like the fight to watch. Moxie Sue and Crazy fighting away through the order right now. 4P4, P5. Them two very much close. Seems like the top 4. Top 3, I should say, are more broken away into their own sort of train. Up the inside, Moxie Sue goes on the Alfa Romeo. He's going to try and see if he's able to get the move done on the Alfa Romeo, but it just seems that he can't get the move done. The AI DNF Junior, very much unfortunate. Moxie Sue into the gravel there, and is going to lose the place on Crazy. And you can see Foster's laps are being shown now, as Ras has the fastest lap. Obviously he's down to the back. Roy is going to try and get a move done on Moxie Sue into turn 1, and it just seems like he's going to have to not make the move for the time being. But as these drivers are all in the train still, the chance of points is still very close here. Side by side, just Sam and Roy trying to go around the outside. Is going to be just Sam on the outside of the AlphaTauri. In fact, he's going to get the move done. In the background there, that's a spin. Mini Miko's off in the background there, still side by side there. Was Miko and Sam and Roy, but it seems like Roy loses out to the Mercedes driver. Mini Miko spins out in P12, so he's out of the points now in the AlphaTauri. We have 6 laps to go in this race, and still a lot of action possibly still to come. So as these 2 drivers continue to find their way behind there, CWM and Simon going side by side for the final points in the race. And it just seems like CWM will have to hold on before making that move back towards P4, P5 and 6 now. Moxie Sue very close side by side, oh Crazy, and up the inside. The Mercedes gets the move done. The Red Bull gets the move done, but actually Crazy's going to try and go back round the outside. They're still going to be side by side of Moxie Sue. does get the move done or on Crazy, and now Moxie up to P5. And I want to see here, there's a move here possibly at the front here now. Remember when Nickman went into the pits for new inters? Is he going to try and get a move done on the Haas as he continues to make his way hopefully back towards the front? It seems like he might have a chance. I'm going to leave that for a sec because it seems like CWM has got the move done on Simon finally, and up into the points goes the Ferrari driver. So I want to watch this man here in the Aston Martin, who seems like he might just be having a little bit more grip here compared to the rest of the drivers. We still have 5 laps to go, but however does have penalties, so obviously that will cost them as we get towards the end of this race here. Around the outside goes Nickman, and in fact will get the move done on the Haas driver. Nickman is absolutely flying out in front. He wants to try and get this race win. He does have 6 seconds worth of penalties. We'll have to see if that affects him, as now Nickman goes up the inside and in fact does take the race lead away from CMC. But yeah, good move there from the Aston Martin, and does take the lead back for CMC. He's trying to challenge him back, and in fact up the inside now goes Nickman. The Haas trying to get involved, a switch back here from CMC, trying to go around the outside. We have a great fly here at the front, but it just seems like a loss of grip there for the Alpine, as Nightwolf now sneaks ahead of the Alpine driver and up into P2. CMC has gone from first to third in the space of 1 sector. So CMC maybe starting to struggle a bit, as Nightwolf now takes P2. It's going to be up to Nickman now to try and build a gap. He has a lot of penalties. Unless they get removed, this looks like the win right now will go to Nightwolf in the Haas. So still a very close race that I'll have to watch out for here. You got, I don't know, I think that is Rabas behind them. He's trying to unlap himself, but just can't seem to get the move done. Obviously, however, he is lapped, so wouldn't be surprised we can't get the move done. Behind them, there is still a fight going on for P4 with William and Moxie Sue back towards the front. There's a yellow flag, and Gamer had retired, and the safety car's out again on lap 25, and it looks like it was contact between CWM and Gamer, and both of them, or one driver is out, the other driver is missing a front wing. So obviously there's been some form of contact there between the Red Bull and the Ferrari. The Ferrari missing a front wing, but now we do have another safety car deployed. Are we going to see anyone take the gamble onto a new set of inters? I think everyone knows how much of an improvement a new intermediate tyre will feel. Nickman into the pits, Nightwolf stays out, CFC stays out. Nickman is going for the ultimate gamble onto a new set of intermediate tyres. Will that pay off? Both Aston Martin, so double stack at Aston Martin. It's actually the soft tyre. Nickman is onto the soft compounded tyre. Is he really taking this gamble to go onto the soft compound? Crazy's coming in. What's Crazy going on to? Crazy's going on to a new intermediate. Intermediates for the Ferrari. It's going to be soft tyres for Roy. Is this going? Are we going to see? Are we going to see a soft tyre actually get back towards the front? To be fair, the rain has stopped. I'm looking at one of the onboards. The rain has in fact stopped. Is this an Aston Martin master plan from Nickman, as well as Roy, who's gone for the soft tyres as well? Will this pay off for them though? I'm not 100% sure. As we got, to be fair, this will be the last lap that the safety car's out for. Crazy's trying to get back towards the back, but I think we'll have to see what happens. I don't know if the safety car will come in now. Is the safety car going to come in now? I don't think it's going to come in yet, because I think it's going to have to give 2 racing laps. So I think we will see the safety car stay on the laps. That should mean all the drivers have a chance to catch back up to the pack. And this is good for Nickman and Roy, but the track still looks like it's in its intermediate conditions. Will Nickman absolutely try and fly his way past? He has to go for this gamble. if I look at penalties really quick, if I can find the right one. So 12 seconds actually for Nickman. 6 seconds for William. Moxie Sue's actually gone past DJ William. I don't know why it's happened there. Moxie Sue's got 3. Just Sam has 9. Mini Meek has 9 seconds, and Rabas has 14 seconds. So Nickman, he knows he has to do this, but actually he's coming back into the pit lane now. And actually he's going to be coming back in. What will it be for the Aston Martin? It's going to be another set of soft tyres. Will be for Nickman. As he comes out, it's going to be another new set of soft tyres. So he is going to drop all the way to P11. He's going to be out of the points even with that pit stop. So he's going to be last of the runners that are not lapped. We will have to see if that will pay off for him. Will it pay off for Roy as well? There's going to be 2 laps for the 2 soft runners to try and make their way up the order. Roy might have a brilliant chance here. If the track is going to dry up, this is a brilliant chance for Roy to get the race win. He doesn't have a penalty, but is now the leader of the soft runners between him and Nickman. So whether Nickman, he does have a lot of warning, or not a lot of warning, a lot of penalties. So this is going to be quite the entertaining end to this race. Will the soft tyres be better than the intermediates? To be fair, I wouldn't be I mean, the rain has stopped, but it doesn't seem like there is a dry line yet. It seems that there's just doesn't seem to be that sort of a dry line you would expect. So the safety car's coming in, and this will be the final stretch towards the checkered flag. 2-lap shootout to find out who wins the first race here. We have 12 drivers still here. Kifu is not here. Rabas is lapped. But Ann Gamer and Junior both out of this race, unfortunately. But we'll have to see. Nightwolf does lead this race, however. But will those soft runners be able to make their way through? As well as, is the soft tyre even better than the intermediates right now? Well, you will have to find out. As Nickman in the Haas leads the way, as he will hold the pack up for as long as he can. And as they made their way around the last couple corners, very shortly, we should see the Haas get a move on these intermediate tyres. So watch out for Roy and watch out for Nickman. However, Nickman does have penalties. We'll have to see if they're able to make up any places. We go on the way for the final time here, and that is Rapash in the wall of really sorry that was one of the front runners. But DJ William has got the move done on Moxie Sue up towards Zone 1. Williams lost a lot of places up towards Zone 1. Just Sam's got the move done actually on to P4 there, and we'll have to see here. He's going to try and go for a move here. It's just Sam. There's a yellow flag, and I think that's one of the Mercedes there who's struggling, and you can see Moxie Sue maybe starting to struggle on his tyres there. It seems like something's happened here. DJ William, Nightwolves picked up a penalty for track limits. All hell was breaking loose here right at the end. I can't keep up with all that's happening. Simon's picked up a penalty there. Oh no, hard think of any, but a spun back towards the front. A penalty for Nightwolf, I said. Penalty for the Haas. But now this is going to be CMC's race. As long as he holds on, he doesn't have a penalty. He doesn't have to fight this. As long as Crazy does not get himself back towards the front. However, he does get himself up to P5 ahead of Mini-Me. So he has to mod up into P5 there. But it just seems like the call onto these soft tyres was not the way to go if Nickman and Roy. Just doesn't seem like it. I said there wasn't a dry enough track. Yes, so just there wasn't the right call there from Nickman and Roy. As we begin the final lap, CMC so much more grip against the Haas as they begin the final lap of this Australian Grand Prix. CMC wants to win this race on track. He's going to try and go for the move into turn 1, but actually, in fact, will back out of the move as they continue to make their way through the Albert Park circuit. As CDM picks up a penalty now. Is CMC going to make a move? But I think he knows he doesn't need to make a move here. He's up in front, ahead on penalty's sake. He is ahead. Actually, he's going to try. Unless Nightwolf gets that penalty removed, this will be the win for CMC in the Alpine. You got to think though, Moxie Sue's not far behind. I know he's got a penalty, but but is he going to try and move it? I think Moxie's lagging a lot from what it looks like. But as CMC makes his way through the long back straight, and there's also a really good fight here going on with a three-way fight here behind. Is one of these two contact there? We're going to go three wide here through these three drivers. They're all going through here. Who's going to be the one to be the last of the breakers? It's going to be DJ William, and it seems like CWM Mini Meek still finds other side into the ground. There goes CWM, and that's going to be those three fighting away. We're going to go back towards the front now. As they can see in their fight, Mini Meek's got ahead of DJ William. Actually, no, Mini Meek's in the gravel. That's going to cost him. But as the drivers make their way around the last corner, it will be Nightwolf who wins the Australian Grand Prix on track. But CMC takes the checker flag and wins off the penalties. He wins the Australian Grand Prix for Alpine and takes the maximum point, or not the maximum points, it's crazy, picks up P2 actually because of no penalties. So he gets P2, Nightwolf finishes P3, Moxie Sue P4, Sandman's P5, CDOM P6, William P7, Roy still on the softs makes it into the points, Mini-Meek P9, and Simon does actually end up with a point. Nickman had a horrible strategy, unfortunately, and that has cost him 0 points for this race here, but it's a great race from CMC, and crazy as well, jumping up onto the podium due to just being clean. He didn't get a penalty, unlike so many other drivers did in this race, and he will get a podium. So he qualified P2 and will finish this race P2, but obviously there is a lot of possibly you will probably see a lot of incidents probably being looked at by the stewards at the end of or at some point during the week, so you have to keep an eye out for that for when if the results change, at least I should say. But it's a win for CMC with a great race from him. Obviously Nightwolf did win on track, but obviously we'll have to see what sort of penalties happen, or penalties can get removed, so on and so forth, or penalties get added. So we're going to have to honestly wait and see what happens with the final order of this race. But to round out the Australian Grand Prix, it is CMC who takes the race win here for Alpine with the race win. Crazy finishes P2, Nightwolf finishes 3rd for Haas, Moxie Sue finishes P4, Sam finishes P5, CWM finishes P6, DJ William finishes P7, Roy finishes P8, Mini-Meek finishes P9, and Simon taking the final point there for McLaren in P10. Nickman, not the greatest strategy from the man on pole. He unfortunately boxed for the softs, but just wasn't dry enough yet. He's out of the points in P11. Kifu in P12, Ramas P13, and Gamer and Junior, the two drivers who did not finish this race here today. And yeah, there's very much an entertaining race, and hopefully we see maybe not a wet race, but hopefully more entertaining races like that for the rest of the season. But from me, I have been Maloon. I will see you guys next Sunday. On a real note, I actually can't remember what the next race is. I'm gonna have a quick look at what the next race is. If anyone is interested, if I can try and actually find where it is. It's calendar, bloody hell. So next week we will be at Spa-Francorchamps for a sprint race. Thank you, Mini-Meek. So yeah, we are at Spa for the next race in Belgium for what will be the first sprint race of the season as well. It should be hopefully another fun race ahead. But yeah, other than that, I've been Maloon, and I will see you guys next Sunday for another round here in X5 here in EXA. But other than that, have a good evening, everyone, and have a good week ahead. Take care, everyone.